I write these words not for you, but to rid myself of the terror that clings to me every night. I lived a simple life in the modern village near Karbala, far from the city, surrounded by fields and farms. Life was peaceful until they arrived. Who? The Gypsies, as they claimed, saying they came all the way from Babylon. They were strange in every way. Their clothes, the green tattoos covering their bodies, and their animals, even those were black and unusual. Despite our village's tradition of warm hospitality, there was something unsettling about them. I am Ali Fadel, and even though I pride myself on common courtesy, these visitors chilled me to the bone. What truly struck fear into us was what they brought: a massive cat from Babylon. It had thick, dark fur and glowing yellow eyes that seemed to absorb the light. But the strangest part was how they treated it. They worshipped it. With utmost reverence, they would even kiss the ground it walked on, as if this creature were a god. I met one of them, a young woman named Kunasha. She was my age, 19, with striking red hair. One day, while we were near the fields, she looked at me with wide, stunned eyes and asked why we took care of the cat. I laughed, but she whispered, grabbing a handful of dirt, "To avoid his wrath, the one who dwells in the moon." That cat was the strangest thing I had ever seen. When its eyes locked on prey, everything around seemed to freeze. Sometimes you'd see it in one spot, and the moment you blinked, it was gone, as if time itself had stopped. Kunasha told me the Gypsies kept small black statues of it beneath their pillows. If they didn't, by the third day, a curse would befall them, and they would simply vanish. Even their own animals were terrified of it. One evening, Kunasha went to the stable to feed the horses. There she found the cat again. The horses were acting strangely, not panicking, but bowing. They lowered their heads as if paying respect to that unknown, terrifying entity, that thing, that cat from Babylon. The true horror began when the cat sneaked into the house of Abu Hassan and Hassan, a couple known for their extreme hatred of cats. That night, we heard 5 gunshots. In the morning, we woke to the sound of wailing. The Gypsies were gathered, weeping intensely around the body of the dead Babylonian cat, treating it as if it were one of their kin. That night, the moon shone with an eerie, impossible blue color. I heard knocking and opened the door to find Kunasha, her eyes filled with tears. "You must run quickly," she gasped. "Run fast? They will summon him." She said a sentence that was beyond reason. "They will summon him from the moon." Then she turned and fled into the dark. The next morning, I found everyone gathered. The villagers were prostrating themselves alongside the Gypsies, uttering strange sounds. A large gypsy woman covered in green tattoos knelt at the front, raising a yellow bowl and invoking ancient names. "O Master of Fates, Kalu, Lord of Terror." Then, as chaos erupted, a raging storm swept through. Dark clouds blocked the sun, black threads descended, and we heard a deafening explosion that felt like our world was tearing apart. I felt the sand beneath my feet start to shift, and everything around me began to rise slowly into the sky. Amid the terrifying sounds of breaking and collapsing, Kunasha grabbed my shoulder. She placed a strange necklace around my neck and whispered fiercely, "Close your eyes and never open them." I obeyed. When I finally dared to open my eyes, I was alone, miles from the village, staring up at the moon, impossibly vast and unnervingly bright. The villagers were gone, leaving only a horror I cannot describe. If you ever see a black cat, let it pass in peace, because this is my beginning.